The Assault class in Battlefield 1 can be quite a fun class to play and a difficult one to come up against. The combination of the short-range automatic weapons and shotguns and the high-powered explosive gadgets often leaves most players with a trip back to the spawn screen. But with that being said, I do see a lot of Assault players making mistakes. In this video, I'm going to go through the top 5 mistakes that Assault players make in Battlefield 1, showcasing examples in the background footage. If you have any additional mistakes, please share them in the comments below for others and myself to see. Number 1. Not focusing on vehicles. Battlefield has always been about teamwork, and although more recent Battlefield games have moved away from that slightly, it is still clear to see that working as a team has huge advantages. One of my biggest issues with the Assault class, and this is certainly something I'm guilty of, is getting tunnel vision and only hunting enemy players. You should really be concentrating your efforts on enemy tanks instead. As a medic, support or scout player, you do have the means to take out a tank, but in all honesty, you are not that effective. An Assault player will usually have 2 anti-tank grenades, a rocket gun, or dynamite, and can absolutely decimate an enemy tank, especially if running in tandem with another friendly Assault player. The issue is probably down to most Assault players, and as I did just mention, this is myself included, spawning in and throwing their anti-tank grenades almost immediately with the hope of weakening or killing an enemy player. When the tank rolls up, you have nothing left to hit them with, causing you to be no more useful than the medics, support players, and scouts surrounding you. My advice, always check the map before spawning in as an Assault player and look for enemy armour. The points for taking down a tank in BF1 are fantastic, and in addition, you will really be helping your team out. Number 2. Not using the correct weapon. Just because you are running in the Assault class and you happen to have a really good round with the Automatico doesn't mean it's the best weapon for every map. I'm always seeing players take their favourite weapon and using it on every map no matter the size or engagement ranges. This is of course fine, and in all honesty, if you want to use a certain weapon, then whatever, that's your choice. The problem is when those people start to complain when things go wrong in the game. First of all, you need to work out what map you're playing on, what flag you plan to spawn in at, and what sort of engagement distances you are planning to fight at. Fort de Vaux? Well, you can probably take any Assault weapon and be well suited to most occasions. The shotguns would be very useful inside the main complex, however a Hellriegel or Rabi rolls could still be used to decent effect. Empire's Edge? Well, my guess is that taking a shotgun and trying to take out a sniper is not a smart move, yet it is one I do see people implement quite often. Take the right weapon for the right occasion. Number 3. Taking the wrong gadgets. This is something that you often see when picking up a kit from the floor, and it's pretty annoying. Say you're playing on Fort de Vaux and some dude has chosen to run with anti-tank mines and a rocket gun. Well, this was clearly his loadout for anti-vehicle play, but really he should have changed that before spawning in on Fort de Vaux, and too many players don't bother changing their setup and just run with whatever they had on the previous map. Battlefield 1 even gives you a loadout preset system where you can set different loadouts, and then when you're playing a map that has no vehicles, you can just switch to a different preset, so it doesn't take any time to do, and to be honest, it makes life a whole lot easier and is quite a nice feature that's gone under the radar from DICE. The same goes for some of the longer range maps. There is no point taking the anti-tank mines if all the enemy tanks are going to be camping at the back of the map. Get a rocket gun and spoil their game with some long range shots. Number 4. Only using one weapon. This might divide some opinions. I believe that if you only use one weapon in the Assault class and play using only one playstyle, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage and not experiencing the entire game. This pretty much refers to those players that have 100 service stars with the Model 10A Hunter or Automatico and use that weapon exclusively on every single damn map. Sure, maybe you're a really good player and maybe with that weapon you're an absolute beast, but Battlefield 1 has so much more to offer than just one loadout and one playstyle. Do yourself a favour and try out the vast selection of weapons and variants that DICE have provided and mix up your playstyle accordingly. Set yourself a new challenge and master something else. Number 5. Not being aggressive and making use of the Assault class's really fast time to kill is a problem I am seeing more often on Battlefield 1. Lots of maps on BF1 often have a choke point, a place where the game slows down and players start to camp behind cover, sitting on ammo boxes and throwing grenades. What you want to do as an Assault player is lead the line for your team and breach a hole for the rest of your teammates to push through. I guess this is only a really effective tactic if more than one player takes the risk and then the rest of your team pushes through right after, with the medics picking up fallen comrades, but still, the process only starts if the Assault players rush. In Battlefield 4, we saw this with all the classes because you could take lots of different weapons and engagement ranges were spread across all the classes. But in Battlefield 1, you have to remember that medics and scouts and support players don't have that short range capability that pretty much all the assault class weapons have. I'm not saying you can't do it as a medic, it's just the assault class is purpose built for that close range, breaching through a gap, and then the rest of your team follows you through. I also think that in most situations, including an assault player, you should always push a room if you think there are 1 to 2 enemies inside it, and back yourself. Maybe start by throwing an incendiary grenade or dynamite through the door, but then rush in with a slide, if you can still slide properly since the update, and then try to take the enemies down. Take advantage of the fact that most guns in the assault class have a very fast time to kill. So there we go, 5 things that I think assault players are doing wrong, myself included, and although they're not the most ridiculous things that are going to ruin your gameplay experience, they are ones that are quite easy to fix and will definitely see you yield a higher score and help your team more. If you did enjoy, please leave a like, make sure you share your comments down below, and I'll catch you in the next video.